Let's get to the Philadelphia Eagles links. 2018 NFL Redraft, making new picks for first 2 rounds, nose 164 ESPN in $32. Philadelphia Eagles. Original pick Lamar Jackson, QB, Bell traded up. New pick Courtland Sutton, WR. The Eagles' first selection in the real draft came at no. 49, as they picked tight end Dallas Goedert, who was snatched up by Dallas here. The Eagles need a steady presence opposite Alshon Jeffery, and Sutton would provide that. Philly will gladly take 6'3", 216-pound Sutton, who had 42 catches for 704 yards and 4 TDs for the Broncos. His 16.8 yards per reception ranked 7th in the NFL. BLG note, Dallas Goedert went to the Cowboys at number 19 overall. Avonte Maddox did not go in the top 64. What the Eagles should do at quarterback. BGN. With Wentz having a full off-season to be healthy and work on his craft, there's ample reason to believe he can be one of the league's top quarterbacks in 2019 and beyond. Wentz garnered a lot of doubters after his rookie struggles in 2016. Those people looked very foolish in 2017. He's probably going to make those same people regret doubting him once again this year. NFC hierarchy, obituary, the Saints are dead. Philly voice. As it turned out, McVay's very wrong decision was bailed out by one of the worst pass interference no-calls that I've ever seen. That will be discussed for decades. Otherwise, McVay's offense might not have seen the field again after taking the 3 on 4th and goal, and the Saints would be headed to the Super Bowl. As a result, you'll be subjected to countless McVay's God pieces over the next 2 weeks, when if a side judge had simply made the easiest call ever, he'd be getting raked over the coals. That's just kind of how sports go. If Keanu Neal picks off Nick Foles near the end of the first half in the Eagles' divisional round playoff game last year, for example, what is the outcome of that game, and the city's feelings on Foles? Where will Antonio Brown end up? Our beat writers break down the market. The athletic Philadelphia Eagles, a chance. Logistically, squeezing Brown into a tight cap situation seems difficult, but Howie Roseman and the Eagles have some easy moves to create space and the flexibility to create extra space for a big move if they need it. Roseman has always been willing to swing for the fences, and Brown is obviously good enough to warrant an exploratory phone call. No receiver on the roster other than Alshon Jeffery is guaranteed of a 2019 roster spot, so the need at receiver fits. Plus, Roseman ponying up a third-round pick for half a season of Golden Tate provides a baseline for how much he values the position. They also have 3 picks in the first 2 rounds. But the Eagles also have been very careful about cultivating a cohesive locker room, so it's hard to envision them bringing in Brown unless the market is quieter than expected. Bo Wolf. Local flavor among Tuesday's Senior Bowl standouts. Pay.com. Where Andy Isabella at UMass. I've loved Isabella for a couple of months now, and on Tuesday he showed a lot of the reasons why. The senior is small, but he's quick, explosive, savvy, and catches everything thrown his way. Isabella made a number of tough catches in just the limited reps I saw from Lad Peebles Stadium today. Philadelphia Eagles betting, 2018 season in review. Gambling. With Wentz already declared the 2019 starter and with Foles almost certainly headed for the exits via free agency or trade, the Eagles will load up this offseason for another Super Bowl run. So far, top NFL bookmakers don't seem convinced the Eagles will make enough moves to warrant an early wager on next year's Super Bowl. Odds of the Eagles winning the 2020 Super Bowl are 20-1, tied with the Colts, Cowboys and Ravens. 9 other teams are ahead, including the Rams and Bears, 2 teams the Eagles beat this season on the road. Given that Wentz could easily revert to 2017 MVP caliber form and the team's history of using the trade market aggressively, the Eagles could be a profitable bet to win the 2020 Super Bowl. They will be reloading and preparing for another run. Daniel Jeremiah's top 50 prospects for 2019 NFL Draft 1.0 NFL.com 26 Jachai Polite. Polite is an undersized, 6'2", 242 pounds, edge rusher with tremendous twitch and explosion. As a pass rusher, he wins early with pure speed and he'll mix in a crafty spin move. He has a dynamic inside counter move, but he doesn't use it very often. He does get swallowed up at times and struggles to free himself. Against the run, he likes to spin at the point of attack and he will get uprooted on occasion. His effort is solid. Overall, Polite lacks ideal size, but he's very explosive and fits teams looking for a stand-up pass rusher. Bengals hiring Brian Callahan as OC, per John Gruden. Cincy Jungle. The Bengals won't officially name their next head coach and subsequent coaching staff until after the Super Bowl. However, that doesn't prevent coaches from announcing coaching news, which is the case in Oakland, where head coach John Gruden just announced that Raiders quarterbacks coach Brian Callahan will be Cincinnati's next offensive coordinator. BLG note: looks like Press Taylor won't be headed to Cincy. Report: Louisville to hire Gunter Brewer to coach wide receivers. Card Chronicle Football Scoop has reported that Scott Satterfield has finished out his staff and will hire wide receiver coach Gunter Brewer. Brewer is a veteran coach that spent 2018 coaching the Philadelphia Eagles receivers. Before heading to the NFL, Brewer was the co-offensive coordinator and receivers coach at UNC under Larry Fedora. At 54, Brewer will be the second oldest coach on the U of L staff, but he may just have the most energy. He's known for his enthusiastic personality at practices as well as his great interviews off the field. This was like someone had stabbed you in the back. The Ringer 2 years, 2 straight devastating Saints playoff losses. New Orleans' reaction to Sunday's stunner was different than it had been a year earlier, all while embodying the qualities that set this NFL fanbase apart. Cole Beasley: honestly, the front office pushes who they want to get the ball to, blogging the boys whether he stays or goes. Beasley dropped some interesting thoughts on the disposition of the front office on Tuesday. According to him, they are the ones who push where targets on the field. Bruce Allen speaks at the Senior Bowl. Don't worry, he shares your passion. Hogs Haven Redskins team president Bruce Allen spoke to reporters at the Senior Bowl today. Head coach Jay Gruden was also supposed to speak, but Allen said he had stayed in Ashburn to interview assistants for his coaching staff. Allen talked about the Redskins season, Alex Smith, Colt McCoy, the new stadium, the front office and more. Former Dallas Cowboys player arrested after falling asleep in Whataburger drive-thru eater after being found fast asleep in the drive-thru of a McKinney Whataburger. Former Dallas Cowboys running back Darren McFadden was charged with driving while intoxicated. McFadden was arrested on Monday after employees at the Whataburger in McKinney called police on a man sleeping in his car in the drive-thru lane, according to ESPN. Considering that the food at Whataburger's hangover-busting capabilities are all but scientifically proven, it's frankly more surprising that more people aren't found passed out in the drive-thru of their local outpost while waiting for an order of freshly made taquitos. Sports franchises usually don't last in AC. Press of Atlantic City: consider me cautiously optimistic. The Arena Football League is expected to formally announce this week it will be placing a franchise in Atlantic City. The as-yet-unnamed team will be passing, kicking and tackling. Punting is not allowed at Boardwalk Hall starting in April. Recent history suggests the team will have a tough time making a go of it. How can the NFL make sure the Saints' officiating mess doesn't happen again? SB Nation: New Orleans was definitely screwed by the non-call, but it's not the only reason the Saints lost. The Rams had 378 yards of total offense. The Saints had just 290, one of their worst offensive showings of the year. When they got the first down at the 2-minute warning deep in Rams territory, the Saints decided to pass on first and third down instead of run to waste clock and flush out Los Angeles' remaining timeouts. Both passes were incomplete, even if the latter should have been a penalty, and set up the Rams with a great chance to tie. Social media information, BGN Facebook page. Click here to like our page. BGN Twitter, follow at Bleeding Green. BGN Manager, Brandon Lee Godin, follow at Brandon Godin. BGN Radio Twitter, follow at BGN_radio.